Hello, and welcome to the Underpaid Gamers Podcast on location.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here in Justin's workplace.
It is.
Little secrets there for you. Behind the scenes of the Underpaid Gamers.
Of my professional life.
That's right. That's really all we're going to talk about, your professional life. This is Justin, by the way,
Hello.
the other voice that's talking. Today, we're going to talk about the first couple episodes of Defenders because I watched all of it.
Look.
And Justin didn't watch all of it.
I've watched 7 of the 9.
And I'm such a good friend that I'm not going to spoil it for him.
7 of 9.
Although I would spoil it for everybody else on the internet.
7 of 9.
There's only 8 episodes.
7 of 9?
What?
I thought there were...
We're going to do this right now?
Yep. Episode 6. I'm on
Just
6
finished 6.
of
You
8.
have 2 left.
6 of 8.
Dweeb.
I'm on 6 of 8.
Anyway.
Regardless.
Well, that's what we're talking about today, as well as we're back to our regularly... I got some news is what I'm saying.
All right. Well, let's just jump right in.
Hit him with the theme song.
Underpaid Gamers is the official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, almost every single podcast service. You can almost find us on every single one.
You know what? Just look for us.
You can Google us. You'll find us on there. If you want to get in contact with us with a lengthy comment or suggestion or just anything, you send it to our email, underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you have something short to say, you can tweet at UPGamers.
Podcast.
I forget that like every single week. There you go. So
that's it. We'd love to hear from you.
We would, and we do sometimes.
Listeners.
It's been great. The times when we do always brightens my day. Recently, we got a message from one of our listeners just encouraging us.
Really?
Yeah, you thinking about?
Did I miss that?
You may have.
Thanks for giving me some encouragement. I was just sitting here thinking we're doing awful.
Dude, we're not doing awful.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that have happened through our email is I got challenged to a Smash battle.
You did, and we
partook in that Smash battle.
It happened. The gauntlet was thrown down, and
I don't remember the outcome.
In these hollowed hallways
of your workplace,
of my workplace, was the meeting ground, not in my room.
Battleground, the battlefield.
1v1 on FD, maybe.
Dreamland. Anyway, if you want to challenge me in a Smash battle, send me an email.
There you go. He likes
That's
to make
what
it
I'm
happen.
saying.
So if
I watched a Kirby combo video before I came over here, and now I want to pick up Kirby.
Oh my!
The official worst player, the first thing in the game.
Stop it! That's ridiculous.
My wife likes to play Kirby because she thinks he's a cute ball of fluff. Technically correct.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that point.
It'd also be a lot of fun just to destroy people with Kirby.
That's true.
Like, who knows how to beat a Kirby? And it doesn't take much.
Like, it's like the most unexpected move.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to expect Kirby? Nobody.
It's my trump card.
It's like when people play me with Mewtwo. Like, seriously, who plays Mewtwo?
Like 3 people.
Like,
I know one highly ranked person that plays Mewtwo.
And that's it?
Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Only one person.
I don't even know.
Tabe. This is his name.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything to you.
Means nothing to me. So,
what's next? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about
news?
Defenders, but we're talking about news before then.
I put my phone away, and that's where the news is. So I need to get
you
back
should
out.
probably pull it out. So I started grad school. That's something in my life as we try and fill until you get the news out.
It's here. Stop talking about yourself.
All right, let's go.
You brought up something about PlayStation. They announced
I did.
A digital rendering of something.
There was a tweet, and it says, we're preparing to announce something. And it's from PlayStation UK.
Today?
Yesterday.
August 21st?
Within the 24 hours, I believe. Yesterday, August 21st.
So they tweeted it when everyone's looking at the eclipse?
Essentially, I have no idea what it is. People guess lots of different things, but I don't think anybody has any inkling of actually what it is.
I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
We're gonna have to wait and find out. You know,
I saw a list that excites you, or is this something that you're just like, whatever? I already know what's coming out soon. Like, this doesn't matter.
I don't have the expendable income currently to just start blowing it on stuff, so I'm kind of like, well, like I just bought a gaming PC. I can't afford any new console or like any new big thing.
Would it even be a console? Like they have the PS4, the PS4 Slim, and the PS4 Pro, which they just announced earlier this year. I don't remember. My timeline's all messed up. They're not going to announce the PS5, and definitely not via tweet. That's something you do at PSX or E3.
That's true.
It might be a game or something, or
why would they do that? Have they ever?
Or like a new headset.
Yeah,
or a partnership with somebody, or even just like a gaming TV that Sony makes, because Sony makes TVs and PlayStation makes all their money for Sony.
This really could be like something very insignificant.
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you don't announce something large via tweet.
But you could
when
tease
you have
via
E3
tweet.
and Gamescom and PSX.
That's true.
And all those other things that people watch specifically, get PSX specifically for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And E3 for everybody.
For everyone.
But
E-cubed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what it is. I'm sure, hopefully, it's something really cool. Hopefully, it's something that's really cool that's not expensive.
Free PlayStations for everybody.
Hey-o! If you have an Xbox One, you can trade it in for free. Actually, you can just trade it in straight up for a PlayStation. Come over to the dark side. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be cool if they did that. No, it wouldn't. They would never do that. But
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Talk to me.
Your game.
I haven't played it in forever.
Played.
I beat it.
You beat the single player.
I did.
And you've played occasional multiplayer.
I've played the multiplayer a few times.
You have played and beaten Mass Effect before finishing Horizon.
Okay. Are we getting back to that era now?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm putting on my shame glasses so I can't see you looking at me with that shame. Yep.
Mass Effect Andromeda will have just no single player DLC at all.
Okay.
It's only going to be multiplayer.
That's probably fair because no one likes the game.
Also, more shocking. Exactly. Let's save it. Save it for what I tell you.
Okay, I'm waiting.
There's not going to be any more updates for Mass Effect. Thank you.
Wait, didn't that game just come out like not even a year ago?
After 1.01, there's not going to be any more updates. So 1.01 might already be out. Single player updates.
Well, they did fix most of the big bugs.
I mean, maybe. Probably.
I mean, the ones that I experienced a few of them, but then they quickly fixed
most of them. I'm sure there's other
facial
things.
Ones that like the biggest that drew the most ire from the community. I love that word, ire. Most of those are fixed, but there are still definitely probably small ones that were messed up.
And they said that they're not going to worry about it.
Well,
there's going to be, I guess, DLC for multiplayer and updates for multiplayer, but not for single player, which is very interesting to me. It almost feels like they're giving up on this game.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, do you blame them? You hire a crappy team. Like, you get rid of all your good people, hire a crappy team, they put together a crappy game, gets terrible reviews.
It's a different,
sells.
It's a different team than that worked on 1 through 3.
Right.
I don't know if it's a crappy team, but the main guy that was behind all this has moved on from that company, which I can't think of right now.
BioWare?
Yeah, he's moved on from BioWare, and the old guy that worked on 1 through 3, that was product lead, has came back.
After Mass Effect 1?
Yeah, after Mass Effect
Andromeda 1?
But now they're kind of focusing on Anthem instead of Mass Effect. So I don't know. Was Mass Effect Andromeda made kind of for the fans that are like, make us a game because we like Mass Effect, and they came out and everyone's like, I guess we're done with this.
Well, I would say that this Mass Effect was subpar against the other Mass Effects.
What if they remastered 1 through 3 on PS4 or higher?
I probably wouldn't buy it.
You wouldn't?
I put so many hours in the first 3, I don't want to play them again.
I beat the first one, and I didn't do really hardly any side quests. I kind of just ran through it.
Yeah.
I remember specifically because Mountain Dew Game Fuel was in stock at Walmart, and I bought a 12-pack, and I just drank the whole... By the time I was done with the 12-pack, I was also done with the game. Not that I drank it all in one day.
And it just felt like that was it.
Yeah, and that was it. I'm like, okay, I'm finished. And now whenever I have Game Fuel, I remember Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty all right. I've tried Mass Effect 2 2 different times. I was like, this is too much of a commitment for... People say it's one of the greatest games. I believe them. I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff that I'd...
Mass Effect 2 did a better job of storytelling, in my opinion, than Mass Effect 1 did. However, I had trouble getting into it as much as Mass Effect 1. And Mass Effect 3, I thought had a really good gameplay, controversial ending that I thought was okay. But I generally think things are okay and people freak out about it. I'm like, yeah, okay. It could have been better, but I enjoyed it. That's usually my response to most things, video game-wise. Occasionally there's a time when I'll completely dislike something.
Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman, one of those ones I like to take a big old poop on.
Suicide Squad.
Also, we took a poop on that one.
That's all I can think of.
I feel like there may be one or two other ones besides that. I don't know. We've got 2 years of conversations. I guess I could...
Yeah, go back and listen to them and tell us what Justin doesn't like.
That's true. Leave it in the comments or tweet it at us. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Have you ever thought that, like, our grandkids 50 years from now can listen back to our conversations?
Yeah, you only bring this up like once every 2 months.
Whoa. That's
We've
for sure
had this conversation multiple times before.
Yes, agree. 2 months is an exaggeration.
I don't think so. You talk about it all the time. Our grandkids are going to listen to us talk about stupid video games and stupid movies that they'll never see. What movies do you think are going to be a classic by the time, like... So your grandkids are obviously going to watch Star Wars.
Sure.
Because...
Well, duh.
Because obviously.
Is there even...
But are they going to watch all the superhero movies? Are they going to be like, I need to get my hands on Batman v Superman because old Grandpa Justin made a podcast about it?
I think...
Are there even going to be movies?
Yes.
In the future?
Duh. Yes, of course there are going to be movies. Because movies are just the evolution of storytelling.
You're going to watch it the same way?
Probably not.
But what if the technology just changes? Like, you can't find a VHS copy of Batman v Superman anywhere.
Right, but the movie still exists. Movies have existed for a long time. Movies are just visual
I know, but
storytelling.
what if they take the technology and it can't be... What if they just shove it right into your face?
That sounds painful.
But in a pleasing way.
Oh, well then it's
So it's
good.
no longer like a digital code, it's just more like a...
Then it's a movie. It's just a movie that plays in your brain.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
a
but
story.
you've seen those, like... old movies that get re-rendered in like Blu-ray. People are like, this is a Blu-ray copy, it's so awesome, and you watch it, you're like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's like... So you're going to have grandkids in...
A long time from now.
50 or 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
How much is technology going to change in 50 or 60 years? I assume movies will eventually be shot in 360-degree cameras.
Maybe.
So if you watch a video like Batman v Superman that's
Sure.
just that one scene, you're like, this sucks. This movie sucks.
That might be true. I don't know. What's 50, 60 years ago from now? 60s? 60s had movies like we do now, except for the resolution sucked, but compared to now. But
yeah, but technology progresses at not a linear rate.
that's true. I don't know.
Grandkids,
the future.
Tell us.
Find us right now. Call us because we miss you. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back into things that people are actually listening for. I'm sorry for that tangent. That's really my fault.
Age of Empires
A what?
4 was announced.
Really?
I put this
How
on
did
here
I miss this?
specifically for you because I thought you wouldn't have seen it.
I have not
They
opened up
announced
our
it,
Google Doc
I
in a long
think,
time.
yesterday. Also, I just put it on last night. So it's been less than 12 hours.
Okay.
But they put an announcement video out, not of any gameplay, just of storylines and stuff like that. They go through all the ages.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
because I don't care about any of that, I didn't watch it. I was just looking for a release date, and they don't have one.
Okay.
But I think I saw, like, it goes up to the Civil War of America,
Cool.
of North America,
Interesting.
specifically the U.S. and the Confederates. Not Canada wasn't involved, and they're part of North America.
Not really. Not really involved, no.
Okay, not really a part of North America.
Part of North America? Yes.
Yes.
Very true.
Anyways, so you've played all the Age of Empires,
I have. That is true. 1, 2, and 3.
and you enjoyed them.
2 is my favorite, yeah. Age of Kings.
Why is 2 your favorite?
Because they...
How long does it normally go? Like, from beginning, what's the timeline of Age of Empires? Is it always different from 1 to 2 to 3? Or is it always just kind of the same timeline, just rendered differently, with different abilities and different things to do?
Age of Empires 1, if I remember correctly, did more ancient Greece time period. I don't remember the campaign of 1. It's been so long. I don't even remember the campaign of 1.
Scrub.
I just remember that there was less options, less complexity.
Wait, when did it start?
Ancient Greece.
And then you think it went to like...
Well, that was like the normal troop. Like once you leveled up, I think that was may have actually just been it. Age of Empires 2 developed you go through the ages.
Okay.
And it ended in the age of kind of the Renaissance. So you could have gunpowder, but it was just like the old timey, like you stuff it down the barrel, you have a wick and you light it, and then it goes into the gun. So it's very European focused. Didn't get past like, I want to say the 1600s is where I think it would have stopped. Now, Age of Empires 3 added in colonial times.
The American colonials, not the African colonies?
Well, just colonial times in general.
Okay.
So like all of the European empires all have, you could like pick which one you wanted to be, and they had different bonuses in combat.
So like it went to the 1800s about?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw Civil War on this one. So you're 1850s, 1860s, maybe even 1900s.
Yeah, 1860s would be Civil War.
So what happens? So let's say Age of Empires goes all the way to like the 1960s.
Oh boy.
Would the Great Depression be part of that game, or is it something that you can avoid as you're kind of in charge of everything? So essentially it goes to the Cold War era.
So
maybe even Vietnam.
Age of Empires are you comparing this to Civilization?
I don't know. Maybe I don't. Let's pretend.
Yeah.
Like I know nothing about Age of Empires.
Okay,
and go from there.
So
like the average
this game
listener.
is very different from Civilization or any game that's like a Civilization simulation. It's not that at all. It is combat. It is very much you building an economy. It's more like StarCraft. It's more similar to StarCraft than it is to Civilization. Essentially, you get spawned on a map, and you build a town /city /fortress, whatever, and you build up an economy
on a map. Like a U.S. map, like a global map?
Not like a global map, like a combat map where you control troops on it actively and fight.
What does this have to do with the Earth, the globe, or is this just something made up?
It has to do with the globe, but you just like pick, I'm going to play in the Black Forest of Germany, and then it just spawns a map that has lots of trees that look like the Black Forest in Germany. So you pick kind of like a landscape, and you play in the landscape.
Okay.
And you spawn different parts of the map, build up a force, go try and find the other people, scout it out, find the resources on the map, take control of them, use them to defeat the enemy. So it's very much like StarCraft if you played it. Don't think you have. So
wow,
for the listeners out there, maybe you've at least seen StarCraft. You know kind of what it looks like a match of it. And it's not supposed to be offensive. You're just not a PC gamer.
No, we have some young listeners that probably have never seen StarCraft before.
StarCraft 2?
I don't know when that came out.
Like,
I didn't know anything about StarCraft until I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
And it was old at that time. I think it just came out.
It was sophomore year of college. So that
StarCraft 2 came out?
Yeah. And they just released an expansion, I think, last year.
6 years ago. I mean, they're remaking it.
They're HD remastering StarCraft 1. They released the expansion for StarCraft 2, the last one, 2 years ago.
So is this a global conquest type of thing, Age of Empires? Or are you just fighting people?
You're just fighting on a map.
With different weapons through the ages?
Yeah. On the same map. So you build up an economy, and then you use that to buy upgrades, then you build troops, and then you can do different game types. I usually play Conquest, so you just go out and destroy the rest of them, all of them, until they give up.
Interesting. So you're excited?
I mean, I really liked Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 3 I didn't get into nearly as much, and so that makes me hesitant. But
maybe it's just the even-numbered ones that you like a lot.
I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait and see.
Wait and see?
Wait and see what it does. So I'm
wait
excited.
and see tribe?
For sure.
Scrubs. Reference. Listeners, I know you got it. Justin, not so much.
I've watched Scrubs twice.
And you get the reference?
No, because I was thinking about video games.
I like to reference Scrubs a lot. I looked for a here we go.
Talk to me.
I was on Twitter, and you can search for GIFs on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for one from Scrubs. They didn't have it. And I didn't feel like making it. It's from they're trying to get a patient into the MRI machine like late at night, and they have the doctor that's on call that's in charge of that whole area. He's a real sourpuss, and he's storming and torning. He's like, my machines, my machines, my machines. It's really funny. I don't know if you remember that, but that's the gif I wanted. Someone make it. Please.
I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Maybe.
Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. What else? So Hellblade's newest Sacrifice.
Yeah.
The game I talked about.
You be in that yet? It's supposed to be like 6 to 8 hours long.
No. I got halfway through it and got really scared and turned it off.
Really?
Because I kept playing it in my basement late at night. And that was my problem. So I want to finish it, but it's scary.
Really? Maybe I'll give it a try because we have that.
It's just really free. Like it's the audio. It's not the video. It's the audio that creeps me out.
That's what they say.
It's so good.
That's what
audio
they
is so good.
say.
So I'm still working on it. Hopefully I'll beat it soon. When I get the gumption to do it.
Gumption.
Yeah.
And one more thing of news.
What do you got?
Crash Bandicoot. You heard of him before?
No. Could you explain who Crash Bandicoot is?
No. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, came out, I guess, 7 weeks ago. And it has been selling incredibly well. It has now been the top one spot on the UK charts for 7 weeks in a row.
Seriously?
Which is like the most a PS4 game has ever been on the charts.
That's a lot better than I expected.
Yes. It's selling out like crazy.
When I think back to Crash Bandicoot, I just think of Crash Bandicoot Racing.
CTR.
That's like the game I played that was Crash Bandicoot.
There's a character in that one called Pinstripe. I don't know if you remember him.
I don't.
He was my favorite. I mean, he wore like a zoot suit. He was like a mobster, like a 1920s mobster. Okay. He was a boss. Because unlike Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing had boss battles, boss races, where it was you versus them. CTR is awesome.
I love that game.
I want them to remake it. And it's looking positive with how much they're selling Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. They've gone on record that, like, maybe Spyro's next. Sonic Mania came out recently.
I loved Spyro 1 and 2 so much.
I only had a demo of Spyro. I don't think we ever had the game.
I was also a kid, and it's definitely geared towards kids. Yeah. But, man, I love the game.
Sonic Mania has come out recently. It has also been getting 8s, 9s, and 10s ratings. It's just essentially a new Sonic game, but it's geared specifically kind of like the older Sonic games, kind of almost a remastered, kind of a reboot. So they're bringing back these. Sonic and Crash are two huge games, and they're selling incredibly well. So we can expect to see some more in the future. I hope, personally, for Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
More so than, like, Spyro.
Yeah. So what was the game? Man, there's a racing game that you could customize everything. Came out on PS4 like 6 years ago.
Like a kart racer?
Yeah.
Or a street racer?
It was a kart racer.
Mod Nation Racers.
Mod Nation Racers. I really enjoyed that game. However, you bring me a Crash Team Racing?
I'm gobbling that up.
Dude, you know I'm going to be playing that. I played Mod Nation. I put a lot of time into Mod Nation Racers a long time ago. I would be all for CTR. That's all I guess.
I think Crash Team Racing...
I'm in already.
Might be better than Mario Kart of the same era. Obviously, you can't compare it to Mario Kart Deluxe now.
Right, 8.
Whatever
Deluxe,
it is.
Whatever, yeah. But
it's not fair. At the time, I also put so much time into it by myself. I never had anybody to play with. This is on the PS1 before there's any internet connectivity.
That's true. You had to play maybe couch co-op, you know?
Yeah, or with my sister.
Oh, never.
Sisters are awful at video games, as you'd expect. Well, there was a point when they were better at video games than me. And it was very frustrating.
But then
it's frustrating to admit.
Then you rose above?
Well, I grew up.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I get this now. Video games are made for men.
Not all of them.
Not all men, is what you're saying.
No, not all games are made for men, but that's okay.
There's like a Barbie game. It's a Hannah Montana game that is rumored to be an easy platinum on PlayStation. In case you're looking for some more platinums. Anyway. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, doing well.
Yeah, loving it.
Selling out.
Loving it. And I'm glad that it's like an older game. Like, to bring back, like, it came from PS1. Because there was this, especially early on in the PlayStation 4's life, they're just like remastering a ton of PS3 games. which I'm okay with if I like the PS4 game. Like The Last of Us was very quick. There are other ones. I can't even think of them off the top of my head. Maybe, what's the other one? I just beat it. Dishonored 1.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a few other ones. And I was like, what about these old games?
What about these old games?
Like some
the
of these...
PS3 remastered a lot of PS2 games. Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter.
That's true.
Ratchet and Clank.
But
The
PS4
classics.
also did Ratchet and Clank. But not a remastered, kind of reboot.
But also, that's one of the best games on PS4.
It also very good, so I'm not going to complain about it. But, this is PlayStation. There's some gems in the PlayStation 1.
Name them. Name 5.
Okay.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I just want a substantial amount.
Sure. So I'm just going to lump, which I guess they're already doing 7. They're doing a whole rework of 7, but 7, 8, 9, obviously, I'm just going to lump as 1.
Okay.
Final Fantasies. There was this game called Alundra that was an RPG that was like an action RPG. So it was like you ran around and actually like button mash to do attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
That I thought was a lot of fun. There's also one called Tales of Fate.
The Tales series?
It was like a very old, it was PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And you switched between 2 characters and their stories, and it was really cool. I would love a remaster of that or a rework of that or something. Even just like a bring up the resolution and let me play the old game. You know?
Yeah.
Like make it, one of those.
Just let me play it on PS4.
Yeah, basically. Let me think. What else?
Metal Gear Solid.
Ooh.
Started it off.
Jedi Power Battles. That was a good one. Or Demolition.
I'm unfamiliar.
That one was fun too.
Vigilante 8 was a great one.
I've not played that one on PS1.
I think it's Vigilante V8 is what it's called. I don't think it's the 8th one in the system.
Yeah.
It's like a Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal's good.
Twisted Metal was good, but I like Vigilante more. You could ride in a school bus around that had rockets and missiles on it. You could jump. You could do all these other things. It was an arena combat type thing.
Yeah.
It was rated M, so I never really got to play it. But the pizza place in my hometown had PS1s in all their booths with TVs, and you could choose to play a game or watch TV, and each booth had a different game set up with them. Mm-hmm. So I'd always try to get to the Vigilante table. Because my parents would let me play it if they were there, because I don't think they realized that it was also another game that I wanted to buy, but they never let me buy it.
Sure.
A lot of fun, though.
I think my number one...
Dragoon?
Legend of the Dragoon would be my number one choice.
Called it.
And again, it doesn't need to be like a...
You can get that at, like, Game Exchange for, like, $120.
Well, I have an original copy.
Oh!
I have an original copy of it. And I have a PS1.
Selling it.
I have 7, 8, 9 original copies, too.
Whoa. Money bags over here.
I have a lot of old games that are, I think, worth a lot. But now everything... I don't know how it affects it when they re-release it on, like, the PlayStation Network. Like HD, I don't know how that affects the market price of those. Because I think some game collectors still want a physical disc of it.
Yeah.
But there's some people who just want to play the game who are now out of that market because they're like, well, I can just buy it online.
There's some Dragon Quest games that are on the PS1, but they're in Japanese. You can't play them.
Yeah, I've not played this, so
unfortunately. Dragon Quest 8, baby.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, you gave me a good amount.
I feel like I gave you a good amount.
In the middle of you talking, I had remembered and forgotten one. The same one.
Nice. There you go.
Jet Moto I played a lot. Do you ever play Jet Moto?
Wasn't that on N64 as well?
Not as far as I know.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of it.
It's essentially like a hover bike game where you can hover over water or hover over dirt or whatever. It's just kind of like a motocross game, but instead you have a hover bike so you can go over water and you just race, circuit race, whatever. Also at the pizza place. And that's like one of the only games that my dad would play. Jet Moto.
There you go.
It's awesome. I would play that again. Very hard. Nice. I remember. The PS1 was very hard. There's no analog sticks on most of those controllers.
Yeah, well, they came out with Joey sticks later on the PS1 because I have a PS1 controller from the time that had joysticks, but they didn't come standard.
Yeah.
It was like a thing you could buy later on in the life. So you had to
and
do the
some
D-pads.
games you had to have the Joey stick to play them. Ape Escape comes to mind.
Ape Escape is a perfect example. I had the demo of that. Man, I wanted to play that game, but I never bought it. I was poor in like elementary school, so
yeah,
I never got it. But I did play the demo quite a bit.
I couldn't. I rented the game from Blockbuster.
There you go.
Hey, history class. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't play it. That goes into my Joey stick story from like our 3rd episode. Mm. Go find that, listener.
Yeah. We reference a lot of things from our older episodes occasionally.
That really brings in the listener because they say, I know what they're talking about.
I know. They're like,
kind of exclude some of the older listeners or some of the newer listeners, but hey.
But hey, in 4 years, they'll be able to look back. We'll make reference to this guy. You know how it is.
Defenders.
So, what do you want to start with? The characters, how they're interacting?
As per usual, we will go straight into spoilers. However, we will be...
Not the season finale, though.
No, we will be hindered by the lowest common denominator.
Which is me!
This finale of episode 6. So there's 2 episodes that you haven't seen. So obviously we'll not talk about 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So if you've watched the whole series and you want to listen to us, that's great. If you watched to episode 7, you can listen to us. If you watched to episode 6 and finished it, you can listen.
Anything before then, though?
Be on
Spoilers.
guard.
Yeah. On guard. So, first off,
tell me your thoughts.
This whole show has just reinforced what I think my rankings of the shows are. So, like, I don't know, maybe it's preconceived ideas of which characters I like and which ones I don't as much. But, like, I like Daredevil, the TV show, the best out of the 4. And I like Daredevil in this show the most out of the 4. Also, am a little bit confused. I'm just going to lay this out here. A little bit...
Just lay it on the table.
Confused or a little bit underwhelmed by Jessica Jones's powers in the show because she doesn't really use them. I like her character, and I like her as like a PI, and this kind of, and I like her. I like the acting. Like I like it. I just
Kristen Ritter.
Yeah, I think she does a great job. I just
Jane from Breaking Bad.
Her powers are supposed to be like super strength, right?
Kafka-esque. I'm making Breaking Bad references over here because she's also Jane in Breaking Bad.
I have not seen all of Breaking Bad.
I know, but it's for the listeners. It's not for you.
Okay. Well, you look at me like I'm supposed to know.
Well, you are supposed to know. You're supposed to have watched Breaking Bad by now.
My bad.
No.
Either way, so her powers are super strength, right? And then she can like jump.
I mean, she is stronger than Daredevil.
What is her powers?
And probably stronger than Captain America, maybe.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say she's stronger than like Luke Cage.
You don't think? Well, I mean, she like picked up a car, so
that's true.
So to me, like the only powers I saw in Jessica Jones were she jumped really high once
in her episode, in her season, her series,
and then she also like lifts cars occasionally.
Yeah.
So like, what's her power?
As far as I know, she's strong.
Strong and can jump.
But I don't think she's any stronger than Luke Cage. I mean, she might be, but I don't think so.
See, in my mind, she's just like the super strong one.
But she's also not a fighter.
But she never fights. So to me, it's like she's just there in every fight scene. She occasionally will like throw somebody or get knocked into a wall. But besides that, it's like Daredevil and Iron Fist having a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden, Luke Cage just like mollywops somebody real good.
Yeah.
Or gets mollywopped himself real good. But he's fine. I
don't know if there's ever a time in the series where she really like stands out as a fighter.
She doesn't.
But like even in the like 2 episodes that you haven't seen. But she's useful in fights. She's
not useless.
As you would expect in a series like this, it ramps up towards the end. There's gonna be more fights towards the end.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say she necessarily has a time to shine, but she does have like. You're like, okay, I guess she can kind of do some things. Like, she's stronger than I am. But, again, she's not a fighter. So, like, Daredevil and Iron Fist have been training to fight. Luke Cage is just a huge dude that was also fighting in prison.
She's like a brawler.
Yeah. He also can't get hurt.
There's that.
Jessica Jones never really fought anything. I mean, her series was all mental, for the most part.
It was.
Until she broke his neck. But anybody could do that, I would assume. I've never broken anybody's neck. I don't expect everybody to break anybody's neck. I don't know how hard that is.
This is one of those conversations that I think flags you in the future as a potential serial killer. So, I
have already grown past the age of flagging. So, like when kids are like 7 and you see them like experimenting with like torture on animals, that's when you're like, that kid's
serial killer
in trouble.
That's true. I guess your brain has like fully developed by now.
Yes.
So if there is anything weird, then it's socially acceptable by now.
Exactly. I'm not killing anybody.
That's true. So those are my thoughts, I guess. So I like
on her specifically.
On Daredevil. I like Daredevil a lot. I think he's a good actor. I don't think
Oh my
I
gosh.
still struggle with Iron Fist and his acting.
So
I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the acting.
I watched an interview with Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Finn Jones and Charlie Cox are both British? Daredevil and Iron Fist? I think I knew that.
I'm speechless.
I knew that, but I heard them on the interview. I'm like, what is happening to my world right now?
Mm-hmm.
Very different. But they have good at English accents, American accents.
Do.
I guess specifically American.
Yeah, sure.
I
I don't know. And Luke Cage is good.
What do you think about like all of them? Do you think so? Daredevil can be a series by himself.
For
and
sure.
Jessica Jones can be a series by herself.
Mm-hmm.
The first two we've seen of them are pretty good. Daredevil season 2 is kind of pulled along by the Punisher. So I don't know if they made a season 3 of Daredevil. I don't know if that would be I don't know if it would be good.
I was wondering this myself. Like, since they've made the Defenders, is this a thing that they're going to do like Defenders season 1, Defenders season 2, or is it going to be like Defenders season 1 and then Iron Fist season 2, Luke Cage season 2, like go through all of their individual stories again, and then bring them back Defender season 2, like
the Avengers,
or is this just it? Right, is this going to mirror the MCU?
Probably. Jessica Jones is already in production, season 2.
That's good.
But they said at the end of season 1 that she's not going to have a season 2 until after the Defenders.
Okay.
Also, spoiler alert, I guess if you don't want to know anything about Jessica Jones season 2, which hasn't even released yet and just started filming,
Talk to me.
Kilgrave is back.
David Tennant.
Yeah. Either as he's just back from the dead.
Yeah.
No, not a flashback. Or he's just like in her head.
Oh.
You see him in person, but it might just be like a
flashback.
mental representation of
Sure.
whatever she thinks. So
Interesting.
So I guess what I was saying, Luke Cage had a pretty bad run on Netflix by his solo.
Sure.
It was too long.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Fist, definitely the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think they could necessarily hold on their own anymore. But I would like to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist team up
I feel like
for like a next season.
I definitely think Luke Cage could handle it more than Iron Fist to another season. Yeah.
I think
Because he's got good themes. It just was executed very poorly.
Oh yeah.
Iron Fist, it's like, how many times can we see a billionaire become a superhero? I don't know. I'm kind of tired of that
3?
story. Batman, Iron Man,
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, Arrow.
Kind of Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, sure. Well, less businessy. He's more of just a surgeon.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
He's rich. Doctor Doom. Rich. He has his own country.
rich. That's true. Not a bit. I'm thinking like that businessman. Like you're like a business person.
Oscorp. Norman
Oscorp.
Osborn, Green Goblin.
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. What
Uh,
other ones are there?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Kingpin.
Yeah,
No.
he's like criminal. Criminal boss man.
LexCorp is not.
Well, he like is, but his like business is legitimate in the public.
He did air quotes there
I did do air
for you
quotes
listeners.
for those watching the video stream. We don't have a
We
video
don't have
stream. I don't know.
Back to the Defenders.
Let's get back. We're tangent.
What do you
Talk to me.
That's the point of this. What do you think? What do you think about them all meeting?
It was fun at the beginning, especially because they didn't like. I knew their backstories. They didn't know their backstories. It was also fun because some of them have histories with each other.
Jessica Jones. Mostly.
Jones and Luke
Yes.
specifically have like a relationship history,
Hey.
or at least a one night history. I don't know.
It was a couple nights. However, he was brainwashed, and
Yep.
she killed his wife.
So there's
So,
that. They got a
tension.
history.
Yeah.
Everybody obviously knows Claire.
Yes. She is the center.
She's the center of the whole thing. It's interesting to seeing like their backstories interacting with all four of them. So like Claire interacts with all of them. I thought that was interesting. Iron Fist's partner, girl, samurai chick.
Colleen.
Yes,
Colleen Wing.
she
The White Tiger.
in the first couple episodes interacted a little bit. That was interesting.
Yep.
I really wanted to see Iron Fist wasn't the best, but I did like what's his name? Ward
Meacham.
Close. Ward. I liked Ward a lot in the show, which we talked about.
Yes.
I thought it'd be cool to see him somewhere in this.
He was off on a business trip.
I know, which is real convenient.
He had another
real convenient
movie contract that he had to do. That's what that means.
I know.
Or they didn't pay him enough to do this.
It's just would have been cool to see him in there.
Man, all right, I'm cutting you off. I'm excited about episode 3. It's always episode 3 where it ramps up. I even tweeted about it. Mm-hmm. Episode 3 is when they all come to a head, and Danny goes to the boardroom to confront
the Black Hand.
Sigourney Weaver.
Right.
The Hand.
The Hand.
And a fight ensues, and Luke Cage shows up first, and it's playing this like R&B rap from like the 80s or 90s. I'm like, this is sick, because first of all, both of them listen to that, because that's what Danny listens to when he's meditating. That's what Luke Cage listens to, because that's where he grew up in Harlem.
Right.
And then they're shooting at Luke Cage, and this, like, they've already fought before, but they never fought together. They fought each other. And then they shoot bullets at him, and Danny hides behind Luke, and then they fight the whole room together.
Yep.
You're like, this is sick.
And then what I thought was funny was Daredevil runs up the stairs, and then Jessica Jones just
takes the elevator.
And they both get there at the same time.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh, which is very much like reflective of their characters.
Yep. And then there was a hallway fight that ensued. Mm-hmm. Although, as I've mentioned before, and mentioned many times, it is not the fact that it is in the hallway that makes it good. It's the fact that it is one long cut in episode 3 of Daredevil season 1.
Which we haven't had again.
To my dismay.
Yeah. I thought that meeting was really cool.
Well, that was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
What did you think of the first fight between Iron Fist and Luke Cage? Following that guy.
I expected... Well, I feel like it met my expectations. Because I really just wanted to see the Luke Cage get hit by the Iron Fist and see what happens. You're on episode 7. Yeah, I just finished.
There are 5 heads to the hand.
Yep.
You're aware of that?
Yes.
There's Sigourney Weaver, Madame Gao, the African warlord,
yep,
the Japanese guy that killed the bear,
yep,
and Bakudo from Iron Fist. You know all those? Mm-hmm. Has anything happened between all of them?
The African
warlord,
white suit guy from
White
Harlem,
Hat.
White hat. His head got chopped off.
Okay, so you're there. Good.
His head is chopped off. He's dead. He gone.
Yes. By Stick?
Stick did it.
Yeah, Stick did it because
Stick almost killed the Iron Fist.
That's true.
Also, Stick is dead. Just learned that.
That's correct.
A lot of
from
twists.
Elektra.
Yes.
It's good because I don't like Stick that much.
Also, so there's a lot of death in that episode, or in the last 2 episodes, because White Hat died, Stick gets stabbed, so he gone. Then the biggest twist of the whole episode is at the end. Alexandra gets offed by Elektra. So now there's just Gal, Bakudo, and Japanese guy.
I don't know what his name is.
I forget too, but he's like my favorite of the Hand.
Why?
Because he just is really cool.
All right.
I think it's cool that he only speaks in Japanese.
Yes.
I think his character is presented in a very like classy fashion and very like kind of like honorable fancy. Like Gao is kind of like old lady, like, oh, I'm so mysterious, but he's just very straightforward, like almost like a samurai.
Yes.
And doesn't he? Who does he fight? Doesn't he fight somebody as a ninja?
In this series?
No, in a different series.
No, that's the first time we've seen him.
Okay.
He has Nobu, is a ninja that fought Daredevil in season 1 and season 2.
That's who I'm confusing with.
Yeah.
I'm confusing him with
different people.
Yeah. But I really like him regardless in the show because I think he brings like a stability. Isn't he in
this is
Kingpin?
As far as I've known, this is the first time we've seen him.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I saw him before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nobu was with Kingpin. They were together.
I'm getting them confused.
With Madame Gao.
I'm a racist, I guess. I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
What I really liked about the Hand was that there were so many different races of the 5. So Alexandra was European.
Sure.
Bakudo was Indian, maybe Tibetan type of area. Japanese guy that only spoke Japanese and killed the bear was Japanese.
Sure.
Madame Gao was Chinese, and then the African warlord. I would have really liked, and I know China and Japan are very different, but I really would have liked to have a Russian person, maybe even Bakudo be Russian instead of what he was. just to have like a more broad spectrum. I know it's mostly just like Asian and European continents, but and Africa. But I really like the fact that there was so many different races represented in the hand, because that's what would have happened when they spread out eventually.
Sure, to take over the whole world.
Yeah. No South American. No, really any South American or North American.
Or Native American.
Or North American, because I assume Alexandra's just... She's talking about some European history.
Yeah, I mean, she's like listening to Bach and like Beethoven and all those people.
Yeah.
So
she's from Europe.
She's definitely European descent. So yeah, I thought that was cool too. I was glad to see that.
I was so interested in the White Hat's story. When he's captured, he's like, I've been captured before,
I know.
And I took over the castle while being captured. I'm like, I want to see that.
I loved it.
That guy's
Against
awesome.
The Chaste, yeah.
And then he dies. I'm like, that
really
sucks, because
cool.
that guy was like my favorite.
I know. See, it's like, I wish, like, we've seen so much of Madame Gao, like, get her out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Kill her off.
Get rid of
and
her.
give us the backstory. Like, I liked Bakudo.
Yeah.
In Iron Fist. I liked almost everybody but Iron Fist in Iron Fist. Like, he's like the weakest part of that, in my opinion.
Okay, so there's a fight scene with Iron Fist and Luke Cage where Iron Fist can't do anything to Luke Cage until he conjures up the Iron Fist and then punches him and knocks him out.
Yep.
Like, okay, that's fine. But then Luke Cage is fighting the African warlord, and he's taking damage from it. Like, the African warlord's like doing all these pressure point stuff and hitting him, and I'm very frustrated with that.
And Elektra like knocked him out too at the end of episode 6.
Yeah.
And I thought that I noticed that. I was like, that's weird. Maybe he's still drugged, because in that case,
that's what I would agree with.
Stick drugged him, but still.
That, but also, like, I don't understand how he fought the African warlord, and then afterwards he just has him captured. Like, this didn't really affect me at all. I would have liked to see that battle between those two, instead of him just showing up with him in tow.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best fighter of the 4 that you've seen so far?
Daredevil.
Yeah, I agree.
And I would have said Iron Fist, except for they just fought, and Daredevil like beat him.
Yeah.
Base in like hand to hand. Obviously, Daredevil doesn't have the Iron Fist, which is a super weapon. It's like playing Halo, except for one person in there is from Destiny in the map, and so they have a super. So it's like you're playing on the same level, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes some Destiny player in your Halo map with all your Halo buddies, and they use like a warlock.
Nova Bomb.
Yeah, Nova Bomb. And like everyone's dead, and you're like, what the heck? That's kind of what the Iron Fist is with using his chi.
All right.
It's a little OP. You could be better than him, but that's OP.
There have been some criticisms, and there's an idea that I really like that I'm going to present to you that is not an original Tony idea.
Okay.
I got it from someone else. But Iron Fist is supposed to be like the best fighter on the planet. Like, he's trained since he was like 8 years old to be this fighter, to be this defender of Kunlun.
Okay.
And you've seen flashbacks. He got beat with his poles forever. And he was just trained to do that. He's supposed to be the best fighter. Whereas Daredevil, who is blind and has been blind for a while, can also fight just as well as he is. I think Iron Fist should have been above and beyond how good of fighting the other ones were. I think he should have made everyone else look like Jessica Jones, just because with their inability to. And the scene that someone else came up with that I think is such a good idea was, I wish that they were in a building fighting, and they get separated. It's Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Daredevil on one side of the door, and Iron Fist on the other side of the door, fighting against the Hand.
Sure.
And Jessica Jones and them have to fight against 10 people from the Hand, and Iron Fist has to fight like 50 people from the Hand. And they fight, and they both get done at the same time, and the door opens, and they're just like, and Danny's just like, yeah, I did it, because I'm literally made to do this.
Right.
Whereas the other people
would
struggle. You know what I've seen? You know what I'm...
Yeah, well, and it's surprising because they do draw a distinction between, I think, Daredevil and Iron Fist being at the top tier, and then Luke Cage and being like an okay fighter, and then Jessica Jones like really not fighting that much.
Yeah.
So they do draw distinctions there, but not between Daredevil and Iron Fist, as I've seen so far.
I always feel like Jessica Jones is like, fighting's like below her. Not like I'm too good to fight, just more like this is a waste of my time. Like,
yeah, I could get that feeling from her.
Like,
that vibe.
I don't have to do this.
Right. And when she does need to get involved, she does.
Yeah.
And she'll like grab somebody and just throw them against the wall or something.
There is a time, I think this is when Daredevil and Iron Fist are fighting. Iron Fist uses his fist and hits Luke Cage and makes that big old shockwave, knocks everybody down.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. And that kind of hurt Luke Cage, but at the same time, like, the African warlord did the most to him. So I don't understand. But Stick, I just don't know. I really liked the series. I liked 8 episodes was great. 13 episodes of all the others was a little too long.
much.
I watched this one. I watched 2 episodes the first day it came out and watched literally all the other episodes in one sitting the Saturday morning of the next day. I just couldn't stop. I binge watched this. And I think that really cut down on some of the slow times. I was like, okay, I'll just watch the next one. And we've talked about this before, my idea that binge watching a TV show versus watching one every week, a la Game of Thrones,
Sure.
really has a different impact on
Your experience.
opinion and your experience of it.
I agree. You don't see the thing. If you binge it, you don't have the ability to reflect and think about it. But at the same time, you also it's easier for you to see the connections between the episodes because they just literally happened.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons of both.
And it's like if there's a slow part in the last half of one episode, you watch the next episode immediately, and the first half might be fast or might be fast paced throughout. So you're just like, okay, I just watched 2 episodes, 2 hours, and 30 minutes of it was slow, but an hour and a half was fast paced. You're like, okay, that's interesting. So I mean, I binge watched the crap out of this. You've been watching it a little bit slower. Do you think?
I watched most of them in one day, and then I got really busy. So I think last Saturday I watched 4 of them in a row, and that felt really good. I was like, oh yeah, I can get into this.
That's awesome. 8 episodes is great. I really don't want them to go back to a 13 episode solo series or anything. I think Daredevil. Okay, at the end of episode 8. There is a Punisher trailer for that Punisher season that's coming out. I think it's coming out this year, maybe in November of this year. So it's coming out pretty quick, which is exciting because he's awesome.
I mean, it sounds like they're accelerating the pace of Marvel shows.
Hopefully.
Because of the success.
Yeah.
Right? Daredevil came out, and then it took forever for Jessica
Jones
to come out. And then it took less time, but still a long time for Luke Cage. But then Iron Fist came out I felt like real quick after that, and Defenders is out a lot quicker than compared to the first couple. So
I'm excited to see that. I think Jessica Jones can do her own thing. I think Daredevil could probably do a season by himself, or maybe some characters that we haven't seen before. I don't think Luke Cage and Iron Fist can necessarily do it by themselves. I would like to see them partner up because they're supposed to be friends in the comic book universe anyway.
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to just be buddies. They go on a lot of adventures together. Luke Cage and Iron Fist. There's a lot of comics out there with just those two.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to see them together.
It would.
Especially if Danny wants to help those people that are less fortunate than him. As he got
that's very much like Luke Cage.
Yeah, he got in a tizzy with Luke Cage, and Luke Cage was talking about privilege and you're a billionaire and you should be able to help these people with money instead of just your fists. So if Danny took that to heart, which he kind of did, it would be nice to kind of see them team up in
Harlem or something.
Harlem.
Yeah.
What did you think of people really weren't taking Danny's crap about being the immortal Iron Fist and the whenever he'd go on that screen,
people
would just
are
roll their eyes.
This is a bunch of baloney. Yeah. They don't believe it, but we know it's true from the season.
Yeah, but even that one time when they're in the Chinese restaurant, and he's like, "I'm the immortal Fist, I'm awesome," and Stick comes up, and he's like, "You're an idiot because you still have your cell phone on and you made a call." So everyone's calling him now because of his episode. Everyone was feeding into it. Of his season, right? Bakuto was there, Colleen. They're all like, "Oh yeah, you're the immortal Iron Fist. This is how you do this, and you're doing really great."
And now they're all reality check.
You're an idiot.
You're dumb. You dumb.
So that's exciting. Anything else you want to talk about with this? Any thoughts?
I'm a little bit surprised by how much blood and gore.
Oh yeah,
is in this.
Well. There's always been a lot because remember Daredevil season 1, Kingpin smashed that guy's head in the door.
I remember that. I feel like they didn't show it. You saw him smashing the door, but you didn't see his head getting smashed. True. But we just we've seen decapitation, we saw Stick get stabbed and then blood go everywhere. We saw Alexandra get killed and then her slash her neck when she's on the ground, dead already.
I don't remember that.
That I literally just watched that before we started the episode.
I mean, maybe they're just doubling down on the mature rating or the TVMA.
That's what it seems like to me. So yeah, so far I've been happy with it though. I think it's been a good show, and I'm excited to finish it.
2 more episodes, baby.
2 more episodes. Hopefully I can finish it tonight. We'll see. Grad school's got me down already on the free time that I have. But
bring me down, Bruce.
That's what we got. Cool. Anything else?
Not that we can talk about without spoiling.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening, you guys. We really appreciate all the listenings that you've given us. Please give us a couple more. We're always asking for more. Thank you. Again, if you want to reach out to us, you've got our Twitter handle at UP Gamers Podcast. And we have an email address, underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on all sorts of mediums. If you're listening to us, you found one. So
Congratulations.
Please share us with your friends. Share us with your online buddies. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Share us with your enemies. You can have a common bond with one of your enemies, which might evolve into a good friendship. You say,
and we might be the bridge for you.
Yes.
We could be the bridge between your...
Put our name on a shirt and wear it around town.
There it is.
Get all the friends.
Or make our emblem on a sticky note and stick it on people, on their faces.
On their faces.
I think that would be the most effective way. They're like, what is this? You do it to them and they're like, what did you just put on my face?
Why is it so important that I need to be faced with this?
And then they take it off and they say, oh, Underpaid Gamers, I am not mad with you. I'm going to just Google this.
Wow.
And then boom!
Such high praise.
Man, it's pretty good. All right.
Listen to us on your way to work or school or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have to ride a bus or a car or if you want to fill time, I can no longer listen to the radio and I can hardly ever listen to music. I'm always listening to podcasts when I'm traveling, which is every day.
That's true.
I listen to music at the gym, but also sometimes podcasts. I'm just stuck in a loop of podcasts. No more music for me.
That's good. Podcasts are good.
Information.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. See you later.